And when the record finished, I think it was quiet, because that's the first time any of us actually had heard what we'd been creating.
It's the 60s. You're singing American blues, but you've never even been to America. So, what do you do? Well, that question pushed the Moody Blues to stop covering and start creating, and it lit the fuse for what became the seminal album Days of Future Past. I'm Paul Stevenson from VRP Rocks, and in this chat, Moody Blues legend and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer John Lodge takes us from that decision to write their own stage show, to the secret Decca lockout recordings, to the spine-tingling first playback in a dark control room. Oh, and if you love classic rock, then please do consider subscribing to VRP Rocks. I've interviewed hundreds of classic rock stars over the years, and you'll find nearly 500 videos on my channel. Here, though, we're going to pick up with John right at that turning point, why the Moody Blues chose to write their own stage show.
We were working on a stage show because obviously we were covering a lot of American songs before that, like everyone does. Mm-hmm. You learn from other people. And as we thought, hey, we've never been to America. How can we sing about the blues and the Delta and all this? So we started to write our own stage show. And when Decca approached us to make this album with the orchestra, the arranger was a guy called, beautiful man called Peter Knight. And he came to see us and said, why do you want to record something which you didn't write? Why not record your own songs? And that's what we did. We said, well, we'll have a 24-hour lockout in the studio so no one could know what was going on. And we recorded basically a stage show. And that was it. But I remember the playback on the Friday night, after it was all mixed, we had a playback. And we had girlfriends and friends came along, and a couple of people from the record company. And we played the record in the dark, beat stickies in the studio. We all put the seats there. And when the record finished, I think it was quiet, because that's the first time any of us actually had heard what we'd been creating. We all knew our own parts, of course, but when you hear the whole thing together, when it's mixed by Derek Varnels and Tony Clark, our engineer and producer, it was like, what on earth we've done? And we said, play it again. And they played it again. And after that, everyone stood up and applauded. And it was very emotional. I remember we never thought about it if it was going to be a hit record. But we knew that we'd done something totally different to what anyone else had done. And that was the excitement, from that.
Absolutely, and people talk about that album as being the groundbreaking movement for the likes of prog and for concept albums and things like that. And we have to mention the big song from that as well. It says iconic Nights in White Satin. Now, can you remember how you felt the first time you heard that go all the way through?
Well, the first time we heard that was actually, as I said earlier, we all knew our own parts, but we never heard it as a whole. When you're on stage playing it, you really only hear your bass if you've got plenty of volume. But we went in the BBC and recorded it for the BBC on a 2-track machine. And they went into the control room afterwards to listen to the playback. And we all looked at each other and went, wow. And that was the first time we actually heard it. But when we went in the studio and re-recorded it, for as a studio record and heard the playback. It was just, we couldn't wait to let everyone else hear it because, again, it was so different, you know. It was like, you know, this waltz-type tempo, and suddenly you have these high harmonies coming out from everywhere, and then Mike on the mellotron playing these incredible lines on the mellotron. Then halfway through, the flute solo comes in, and I think it was so special, a special type of record. And I think we played it to Tom Jones first. Tom was in the same studio, well, in another studio, but in the same building. And we went, Tom, come and listen to this. Happy days.
Absolutely. And it's one of those enduring classics, isn't it? It kept popping up in the charts as well. It obviously came out in 67 and 72. It recharted. It charted in 79, 2010 again in the UK. It charted again in 2013 across Europe. I mean, it is literally just one of those classic songs that everybody knows and everybody loves.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a wonderful song. I remember Justin playing it to me. We all lived in I think it was like a Victorian mansion on the Bayswater Road opposite the Russian embassy. And I remember going to Justin's flat, and Ray was there working at his flute part, and Justin played the song, and it's just, you knew it was right. Somehow.
Yeah.
There's some magic in it straight away.
Magic indeed. Now, there was magic in the Moody Blues as well. You had an incredible run of records following that one. Your next 8 albums in the UK alone all went top 10, 3 of them number ones, proving the brilliance within the band to evolve and to continue making great music. Now, what do you think was it within the band and the chemistry and within the group that made Moody such a great songwriting team for such a long time?
I think what it was, we all supported each other. And if someone had written a song, we used to sit around a little coffee table. But we used to sit around there and one of us would play a song. And if you decided you wanted to play to the rest of the guys, that was it. It was going to be done. There was no ifs or buts about it. And everybody would then say, well, I'd like to play that. I'd like to play that. And we used to build the song up basically around this coffee table. And it gave everyone the strength to, you know, when you've written a song and played for the first time to someone, you are standing there naked because somebody can say, oh, I don't like that, or whatever. That never happened. If you decided to play the song, you had the strength of other guys around you adding to it. And when it was their turn, you do the same for them. And that's how it works every time. And we never argued about it. You know, we'd say, yeah, we did 2 songs from everybody from the album. And if there's more time on the album, if anyone's got another song, yeah, that will go on as well. And that's where we worked. We worked all together as a one cohesive band, you know. The 5 of us individually became the Moody Blues. And it was the Moody Blues, there was the nucleus of the band, not just us as individuals.